Now, I'm going to show everyone some examples of how we can get similar results using the various kinds of methods we have to position our items. I'm going to start with just a new empty QML project. For this project, I'm just going to go ahead and make 3 rectangles. We're going to make them each a different color. And we're going to make them so they are their parents' width and height parent width divided by 3. And we're going to just set the height of these to the parent height. I'm also going to give these an ID. Okay, so just bear with me while I create these items really quick. Okay, so we have a red one, green, and we'll create a blue one. Now, to position these, the red rectangle, by default, its position is going to be at 0, 0, which is fine for us. The green one, however, we're going to want to set its X to be the parent's width divided by 3, or the width of the red rectangle. And for our blue one, we're going to set our X to be the parent width divided by 3 times 2, which basically, will be 2/3 always. So now when we run this, we'll see that we have our 3 rectangles. They're all next to each other. And when we resize this, they also resize to maintain those. So this is an example of dead reckoning. So here we've manually set, our X's for these. Again, we don't have to set the Y's for any of these because by default the value is 0, so they're all going to start at the top. Now, if we want to move this over to using anchors, we can achieve a similar thing. As I mentioned when I was speaking about anchors, we will need something that we're able to reference the anchor to. So for that, we're going to use our green. And what I'm going to do is for the green one, I'm going to set anchors.centerIn. And I'm going to center that in the parent. And what I'm going to do here is for our red one, we no longer need to have a width. We are instead going to set our left anchor to be our parent's left. And we're going to set our right anchor to be the green rect's left side. We're going to do, double colon is a bad thing for QML. We're going to do the same thing for our blue, except instead of it being anchored to the right is instead going to be anchored to the parent right. And the left is going to be anchored to the green right. And here, once again, I'm going to remove the width. If I don't remove, actually, we're going to leave the width here, just to show. If I have this width for the blue one, the anchors are going to take over for the width. So we shouldn't get the blue one taking up the whole area. It should respect it. So the width will be ignored for those, except for the one item that is not anchored with its width, which is our green one. It's only pinned to the center. Now we can achieve this another way by using our row. And for the row, the one thing we have to do is we have to first we need to have our row needs to fill our parent. Otherwise, we won't see anything that we put in the row. And for our row, we no longer need to have the anchors anymore. Here, we just set our widths, and it's going to go ahead and put these items in a row for us. So let me just get rid of the anchors here. And when I run this, I'll have all of them in a row. Again, if we resize this, they're going to resize to keep that the aspect ratio of each one that we picked. So now the last way to do this, of course, is to use layouts. And in order to use layouts, we first have to import the Qt quick.layouts. And then once we do that, we can turn our row into a row layout. Now, the main difference with the row layout here that we have to change is we can no longer use width and height. We're going to instead use the new attached properties that we get from being in the layout. And that's going to be preferred width. We're going to set to be our parent width. And then for height, I'm actually just going to do layout.fillHeight. And I'll set that to true. And if I just copy these into the other ones, the one thing that we'll see here is it'll look the same, except by default, our layout is going to add a little bit of spacing. So the spacing here by default, which we could remove by simply telling it that we don't want spacing here. And then when we rerun this, they'll all be just like we saw before.
Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more, please subscribe to our channel and check out the free QML programming course on our website. The link is in the description.